Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling for our 2007 TNA playthrough. My name is BrendenPlayz. Currently week 1 of April in 2007. We're coming off a recent one-night-only show in Japan. 85 rated show there, and of course our Impact show featuring Jeff Hardy beating Samoa Joe to become the new #1 contender for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship for Lockdown. That should be a big show indeed. Pretty good ratings as well. 7.87 rating there, so the ratings continue to improve. As you can see the last few weeks around that 7.6 mark, but now it's getting back to that 7.8, nearly at the 8 rating, which would be fantastic to accomplish. So plenty of things are happening in this week's edition. Obviously we are now building towards Lockdown a little bit more seriously as well, with Lockdown just a couple of episodes of Impact away. Just 2 more shows. You can see it is an above average rated show, so it's one of our bigger events of the year. So with that being said, we have to make sure that it is one of our best shows, and it's looking as though it could be that, with a strong main event, Jeff Hardy and Muhammad Hassan. Looking forward to that one. That should be a good contest. Other matches, we still have Jeff Jarrett, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe and Rhino has actually been really good. And Goldberg and Abyss, so Team Goldberg versus Team Abyss. Now we might tweak this little rivalry here today and kind of work on that here and pick out the teams that we want for this big series coming up, this big Lockdown matchup. And of course other matches include Low-Key, Paul London, Alex Shelley and Chavo as well. So some other matches there certainly will be interesting to see. Now because it is a new month, we might have a quick look before we get to that news as you just saw. We'll just have a quick look if there's any new workers coming in. So let's have a look. New workers. So any familiar names coming in? BJ, no, don't know him. He looks kind of familiar, but I'm not quite sure. But yes, not quite that many familiar names for me for the new month. Always good to take a look though, because you never know who's going to pop up, and you want to make sure you can, snap them up straight away, swoop in and get them. As we saw the news a moment ago, Eric Bischoff, his contract is expiring. Obviously, 88 color commentary, 87 mic, 88 charisma, 94 acting would be a perfect GM. But obviously, the WWE are going to want to keep him. And you see how many people don't like Eric Bischoff? So many. 4 people don't like him. WWE want to keep him. Now, they're not really offering him that big of a deal. Just the $9,000 for 18 months. Absolutely, we could make a play for that. But we do have Roddy Piper already, so we don't want to, we don't really need Eric Bischoff. I guess let's have a quick comparison to see how Piper kind of matches up with him. And Piper, 88 mic, 85 charisma, 81 acting, 86 color. So not as good, but certainly still does the job well, and we're happy with what he's been doing. And like I said, we don't want to sign everybody. We don't want to, we don't want to take everyone from WWE. We don't want, so we will let them keep Bischoff. And plus, we know what happened when Bischoff came to TNA. It didn't exactly go so well, so we're going to leave that one alone. The big news was last episode we offered a contract to Lita, and we can now tell you guys that she's going to accept. So we can sign Lita. She's now a part of our roster if we want her to be. Now obviously we do. If we can get her, absolutely we're going to go ahead and do it. Now WWE, I don't believe we're even offering her a contract, so she was going. So we may as well get her if she's available. So if they're not offering her a contract, let's get her. So 74 popularity, quite comfortably would be the best woman in our division, and would really help out big time. Now we've got Melina, she's doing great, but hasn't really got much support. Gail Kim, yes, we've done that feud, so we're struggling for other women in our division. So if we bring in Lita, bring her in as a heel, I think that way we can do Melina and Lita. We maybe will try and save that for Bound for Glory. Have that huge match up there for the women. That would be awesome. So definitely we'll try and do that. Bring her in a part of the women's division. Bring her in as a heel. 4-year deal. So we'd have to wait 21 more days, so we won't get her until after lockdown anyways, which gives us some time to continue to build up the women that we have. We're still trying to get Molly Holly and Sarah Del Rey, that rivalry motoring, and obviously our 5-way women's rivalry as well, which hopefully will help some of our women get themselves a bit more popularity as well, because we really need it. Now, one thing I'm thinking about, and a lot of you guys have asked me this on occasion, and also have been asking me, am I going to do similar things that the real life TNA did? Okay, bring in this person, give this person this role, do this. And I do want to do these different things, but one thing in particular that I'm really considering doing is the main event Mafia. Now, Sting right now is in a position where he's doing nothing, really. He's doing nothing. His ring work is really down. It's at that point where you almost need him to switch gears, transition out of the ring, and do something else. GM, yes, but we've got that role filled. Commentator, no, don't see it. I think having him lead a stable or a big group would be great. He can still wrestle, absolutely, can still wrestle, can still go, has good popularity, he's still very useful, but we still want to use Sting on that more special occasional role and keep him for the big feuds, the big matches. So I kind of want to have Sting lead the main event Mafia. The question is, who joins it? Who joins it? Do you turn Sting heel? He's an okay heel, not as good as a face, but he's still solid. Do you turn him heel and you go for it? Who do you put in there with him? Now, main event Mafia was really made up of older veterans. Scott Steiner was in it, I believe. Kevin Nash, Booker T. I think Samoa Joe was in it as well at some point. Could be wrong. Kurt Angle obviously was in it. So we would have to try and do something different. We'd have to have different members. But you could have Scott Steiner in it. Absolutely, that would work. I think Jeff Jarrett would be a good fit for the group as well. Then you kind of go, well, who else? A-Train, I think, could be solid. If you want to really group up some of the big names, A-Train, having that association would really help him. So Sting, Steiner, Jeff Jarrett, A-Train, there's 4 big names there. You might want to add a couple more. Maybe look at your upper mid card. Is there anyone else here? Not quite. Maybe, probably not Test. Not quite anybody there. Unless you wanted to turn the Dudleys heel and kind of put that veteran team in there in the group. So you kind of want to, cover your bases, from all different areas of the roster. You kind of want someone competing for the world, the tag, the global, maybe even the X Division if you can. Unlikely. But so there's a few names I'm thinking about and throwing out there that potentially could be a part of that group. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Now, obviously, Christian is turning heel, so he's a possibility down the line as well. But Christian probably is too big of a star to be led by Sting. He'd almost end up being the leader of the group. I kind of want Sting to be the leader and have other guys around him. So we'll have to see. But it could give us a bit of a role for some of our veterans to play, and I think it could work quite well. You can think about bringing Kevin Nash. You could, but Nash is really past it, and also he's locked up in a long-term deal as well. So that's just a thought that I'm having right now. Let me know what you think, and we can kind of go with that in the future. But for now, we'll leave that, but something to think about, something we may do down the line. The other thing we need to do and establish right now is our lethal lockdown teams. Now, obviously, it's going to be Team Abyss versus Team Goldberg. So, we've got Abyss on one team. Question is, do you have the Insane Asylum alongside him? Kevin Thorne, Test, and then maybe one more guy, perhaps Samoa Joe. To me, that's a weakish team, but it does give the opportunity for Thorne and Test to step up. They're part of Abyss's group, so realistically, they should be there. They should be involved. So we could straight away do that. Thorne and Test and Abyss, find one more guy. Maybe it's Jeff Jarrett. Put Jeff Jarrett there alongside Abyss. And then we take a look at the babyface side of things. Who can team up with Goldberg? Well, AJ Styles is in a feud right now with Jeff Jarrett. Boom, there you go. Put Styles and Goldberg together. And who else is available right now? Well, I believe Fallen Angel is available. He might be doing something. I don't believe so. So Fallen Angel would be available. And obviously, he's doing very, very well for himself recently. So it would be a good partner, a good pick. Sting, yes, he is available if you want to use Sting. Sting and Goldberg do have that association. Other than that, really not many options. So maybe you'll have to go with that. Otherwise, you've got to think about bringing in someone lower down the food chain. Maybe a Nakamura. Maybe you look to step it up and give Nakamura a crazy opportunity. It's a big, big ask for him, but it would work well, but it would probably bring the match quality, the match rating down. But it may not be the worst idea, a young gun given that opportunity. So we'll have to think about that right now, but certainly we've got to adjust and add this in. So we'll change this to Lethal Lockdown. Obviously it won't change on your screen, but we can add in AJ Styles. We'll have to add him as a minor role and add in Jeff Jarrett, and he can be alongside Abyss. Now, to test, Sane Asylum are doing something right now with the Dutch Dynasty, but maybe we end this rivalry, or we just drop it and pick it back up later. But for right now, probably we need to ignore it. So we can probably just leave it and pick it back up later once lockdown is over, and that's okay, and that's perfectly fine. So it's still on the table, but for right now we worry about it a little bit later on. So Test and Kevin Thorne alongside Abyss, and obviously that that makes sense. They are a part of this Insane Asylum group. We haven't had them team up too much, probably not enough. This is an opportunity for them to be alongside Abyss and get that opportunity to be in a big match. So I don't mind that at all. And as I said, we need to find a couple of other names to be alongside them. I think we'll add Fallen Angel. Goldberg, being impressed with what Fallen Angel's been able to produce, I think would make sense. And then you have to find one more name, and you could make that Nakamura, who currently at the moment is in a rivalry with Vader, which obviously is just a quick little thing to get Nakamura some popularity and have Vader lose. So that's an option. That's certainly an option, and if not, probably Sting. So I'll think about that, and maybe next episode we'll look at that. So there's a couple things for you guys to decide. Nakamura or Sting? Should we just leave Nakamura alone to deal with Vader? Give Sting something to do. He's been a little bit, he's been missing for a while. And also it'd be a big, I'm kind of selling myself on Sting right now. It'd be a big opportunity, a big match for Sting. We haven't seen him for a few months now. A chance for him to get himself back involved for this match. Nakamura will get his chances down the line. And most likely, probably Nakamura could be involved in the Bound for Glory series. So he'll get his opportunities, but for right now, we'll leave it at that. And that is a 4-on-4. So there you go. That's our lockdown match. Probably not as strong as it has been in recent times, but that's because you've got a big match up here. You've got Jericho and Christian against the Dudleys. They're locked up there. Jeff Hardy and his sons locked up. Joe and Rhino. So there's other big matches on the card, not all just in the lockdown matchup, but which will still should be a good match. So looking forward to that one. But with that being said, it's pretty much all we have to show you before our big opportunity, a big Impact show here, an opportunity to kind of advance some more storylines. Just a quick look at our popularity. As you can see, we've moved up to 78 in our regions of America, 80 in our southeast, which is our major region, which that gap is really closing in. The other region is really starting to catch up there. So that's fantastic. We're really on the rise, gaining a lot of popularity. Won't be long till we really are potentially there to take over WWE. Canada's still 19, Mexico 23 in northern Mexico, 15 in the other regions. British Isles still weak in 15. Japan 15 in every region except for Kanto, which we have been holding those one night only shows in there. That's jumped to 16. And Australia's weak 15 everywhere except for New Zealand, which we do have a television deal in New Zealand. 29 is what we've been able to get there. Still a big struggle to get TV deals anywhere around the world, but we are trying our best. And to get to the next size, we need 71% importance in 8 regions of America, which we can do. We're not that far away from accomplishing. But you need to have cult size in the 3 other game regions, which we are nowhere near. Nowhere near. Unfortunately, only Central Europe is a slight chance down the line. But yeah, it's not looking good in other regions. There's really nothing we can do unless we want to keep doing weekly house shows there or something like that, which, you know, wouldn't be the worst idea to do if you want to just keep doing it. Good chance for your wrestlers to develop, but you know, it just means a lot more work, and I'm not sure if it's really going to pay off. It's going to take a long time to really see any benefits from it. That being said, let's get ahead and get into this, and let's have a look. Incidents, Chavo, it's a good one, and another protege there. Might just try and meddle again with this Jerry Lynn and Paul Heyman issue. Your meddling worked, and now they have a simmering tension relationship. So I believe that they had a hatred for each other. It was really bad. So I guess we've improved that relationship. So that's good news for Jerry Lynn, because he won't get fired now. He was on the brink of probably losing his job. This time he will survive for now. So we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't escalate any further. But we'll show you the results for Impact in a moment's time. So the results, pre-show match, Scott Steiner and Sabu. And we wanted to kind of get these two guys on the card. It's been a while since they've had a match. We gave them a pre-show match. Also, we needed to have another brawl match. I kind of stuck this on there just to do it. 69 for Steiner, 63 for Sabu, 70 overall. Cesaro and Eric Young, pre-show match as well. Pretty good match between the two, 80 overall. Cesaro 79, Eric Young 76. Just testing the waters a little bit here for these two. See where they're both at as singles competitors, and to be honest, both going pretty well. Opened up the show with Jeff Hardy, Muhammad Hassan confrontation. 100 rated, so very good way to start things off as per usual. We had a tag team match here, The Addiction versus Homicide and Low Key. 94 rated matchup between these two teams. Fallen Angel 90, 77 for Kazarian, Low Key 87, Homicide 100. Wow. So Homicide very, very good. Obviously planning on turning Homicide face eventually, but we figured let's have Homicide and Low Key team up while we can, and we haven't had The Addiction for a while compete, so why not? Let's do it. And 94 rated, so excellent tag team match. Brilliant between those two teams. Afterwards, we had Goldberg come out and ask Fallen Angel, hey, will you be on my lockdown team? Now, probably, you know, throw a bit of shade towards Kazarian's way. Hey, I don't really need you, but hey, Angel, what about you? You want to be on my team? He said, yep, I'll do it. I will be on your team. So Goldberg gets his request to be approved. Rebecca Knox versus Gail Kim, 73 overall matchup. Obviously continuing that 5-way storyline. Both women will be a part of it. Awesome Kong interfered, screwing over Rebecca Knox's chances and costing her the match. 66 from Knox, 71 from Kim, so both women doing very, very well. Vader and Nakamura had a backstage brawl, so Vader obviously seeking out Nakamura backstage, livid after what's been happening. Hasn't had the brightest start, so he came along, beat up Nakamura. The two went back and forth before they were broken up by security. 74. So continuing that little feud there. Samoa Joe had a promo against Rhino. Then we had Test versus AJ Styles. Now surprisingly, we've never done this match. Never. Have not had this match once. 86 overall. AJ 92. Test 68. Now Test, look, he's good. Just hasn't quite reached his pinnacle. He's getting better though. I think he was low 60s when he started. Now nearly that 70 mark, which is great. So hopefully he can impress and perform well in the big one, the lockdown match. But he was tired towards the end in just a 15-minute match, so probably not looking good for lockdown, is it? But look, 86, that's great. AJ carried him to a good one, and surprising, as I said, first time. We haven't done that one yet. Then we had a save. It was Abyss Jeff Jarrett and Test looking to attack AJ Styles, ambush him after the matchup, and Goldberg came out and helped AJ Styles out, saved him from a beatdown, and obviously establishing that AJ will be on the team and helping out his teammate. Chavo Guerrero had a promo on Alex Shelley, taunting him. Then we had our main event, which was Christian versus Brother Devon, continuing that storyline. Christian picking up the victory. I wasn't planning on having this as my main event. I didn't really want to do it, but when I got to it, we were running out of minutes. We ran out of time, and I figured, you know what, it should still be solid. Won't be amazing, but should still be solid. And it was 88, probably better than what it should be, but I'm happy with that. And another win there, 92 overall, so it ended up being great. Happy about that anyways. So solid show, and we had some good matches on there, and especially that tag team match. And we've got a really good tag division right now, I think. I'm really happy with the way it's going. Other areas not so much, but our tag division certainly is strong. And we had a 7.87 TV rating, so basically the same as last week. Could be even identical, I think. And which is, you know, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Quick little check of some of the guys. Test had a good match, up to 70 popularity now, Test, which is great. You know, we wanted him to be around that mark. It's been a bit of a long-term project from myself, trying to keep the faith, trying to make sure he gets there. Nakamura 56, Vader 71. So Vader's still in a good position despite some losses. Just want a quick look. I kind of forget about what we've done with him so far. Just the loss to Nakamura, so that shock loss that happened. So yeah, so obviously livid that he lost. We kind of followed up from there, which is fine. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that show. I guess we'll go ahead and we'll do Explosion before we head out of here. But one more episode of Impact, then we get to Lockdown, so we might double that up next episode and have both there for you guys. This week we need to do something on this episode of Explosion. We need to do something with the Global Championship. We haven't covered that on the recent episodes, so you know, what can we really do? We could unleash Matt Morgan to send a bit of a message to Ron Killings. So Matt Morgan beats the hell out of someone. Who's going to be the guy to take that beating? I guess it could be Rikishi. I'm not sure if he will wrestle on lower shows. No, he won't. So Rikishi is kind of out of the question. Maybe a Sabu. Matt Morgan destroys Sabu. Just a way to kind of put Matt Morgan over. And then afterwards, maybe you can have Ron Killings, you know, go on a rant, you know, about Matt Morgan, not happy with his actions, disrespectful, blah blah blah, and continue that feud. So that's our Global Championship feud, which is definitely an important rivalry right now. We haven't quite, you know, obviously missed that on Impact, so we need to make sure we do cover that. If we don't get it on the main one, we've got to cover it on the other ones. So we might have Low Key, we might have a matchup, give him a victory against somebody. We might give him a win against, let's get Jerry Lynn a match. He hasn't had that many matches, Jerry Lynn, for us. So give Low Key a solid victory, and then maybe he can challenge Paul London to a match afterwards. Probably won't be a highly rated segment, but that's okay. It accomplishes what we want. Challenges Paul London to the match afterwards. Obviously, as we said, our tag division going quite well. May as well just go ahead and have another tag match. Let's give the New Age Outlaws a match. It's been a while for them. They haven't had too many opportunities to do a lot. So we might have them take on the Insane Asylum, Kevin Thorne and Test. Obviously building Kevin Thorne and Test to a big match at the pay-per-view. So we might give Test that victory there. Make it a brawl match. And that might be enough for a main event. No, we still need 6 more minutes. So we could do something with our divas, with our women, I should say, and maybe Gail Kim with a promo on the competition in that upcoming matchup, which I think the 5th one is Awesome Kong, so she will have to cut a promo. Actually, we've got someone who's not in there, Natalia. Let's have a quick look, sorry. So Melina we want Melina, Natalia, Reconox, and Awesome Kong. So Melina, we've got Beth Phoenix in there, so she's not in there. So wrong one. And make that 6 minutes, and that's enough time to cover for this show. Unless you want to do something again with maybe a Nakamura or a Vader. Maybe we'll have Vader have a quick little matchup, give him a win. Maybe, unfortunately, Jay Lethal might have to take the quick little loss, give Vader the victory, just to give him something. And yeah, so squeeze that in there, and that gives us our explosion show. So Matt Morgan and Sabu, 94 rated, with that beatdown, that savage beatdown from Matt Morgan. Killings with a promo afterwards for 78. Low-key, Jerry Lynn, 75. Low-key, 83, 59 by Jerry Lynn. So Jerry Lynn not really going that well in the ring, is he? But he's got a bit of popularity, someone who can lose. Not a bad option right now. Probably his morale's really down as well, I would say. Low-key promo, 65. We knew it wasn't going to be that great. 73 for the Vader match. Jay Lethal, 72. Vader, 54. So obviously Vader not going well. But he didn't get gas for that match, so that's good, I guess. Gail Kim promo was not great. Not that good at all from Gail Kim. I guess based on overness for her opponents who don't have great popularity, so maybe that's why. Now, main event, New Age Outlaws, Insane Asylum, 79 rated between these two teams, which is good. Test, 73, Kevin Thorne, 65. So not too bad. Kevin Thorne really does need a bit of a push-up in his performances. They've been a little bit too low for my liking. But again, similar to Test, bit of a long-term project maybe. You need to just keep the faith and you know, wait for him to come good, I suppose. So 0.61 rating for that show. Quick little look at our major show for our... That's a wrong one. This one. For Global Force Wrestling. Melina beat Maurice... Angel Williams, and Maurice to retain the Impact Knockouts title. Just had to check who Angel was. So Angel Williams, 69 rated for that one. Seth Rollins beat Michael Shane, 67. Nick Jackson, Tommaso Ciampa, that was 62. TJ beat Cody for 63. Christy Hemme and Billy Kay, 52. Reigns beat Denny Daniels. Who the hell is that? I don't know, but he's there. He's a part of our roster for 58, which is probably better than I would ever expect from between those two. So there you go. 1,100 in attendance for that show. So that's kind of where we're at with our developmental. It's going quite well, and it's an opportunity for, like I said, I like the fact that we have, you know, this Alliance Championships, because at the end of the day, it allows, you know, Melina to work with some of our newer talent coming through, different matches, and we have a lot of title defenses. That's okay, but like I said, it just gives a chance for our new women coming through to get that exposure and work with someone who's really, really good in Melina. And likewise for the Global Championship with Matt Morgan going down and defending as well. So it's positive. It's positive. You might not think it's a good idea or it's a bit different. It is different for what I normally do, but I do like it. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much all we have time for this edition of our TNA playthrough of Total Extreme Wrestling. Next episode, we will try and get to lockdown and have that big show. We've established some of our teams. Let me know about the main event Mafia. Who do you think should be in the group? And we'll go with that next episode. So maybe not establish it yet. Maybe after Summerversary, or maybe we do it beforehand. But it's something I definitely want to think about doing in the near future. But thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next episode.